Hi, I'm Evan Minter for Gestalt IT. My day job normally is an information security manager for a healthcare services provider. Today, I'm chatting with Peter Newton from Fortinet. Peter, I know we're going to talk about work from anywhere. Tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Sure, Evan. I'm a senior director of products and solutions at Fortinet. Been here about 4 years, and as part of my responsibilities, I head up all of our zero trust solutioning and work from anywhere. Is definitely plays into that scenario of how do you enable zero trust in an organization, especially as folks are dealing with work from anywhere.
Yeah, so that's really a huge deal because we've gone from this because of the pandemic. Everyone has to work from home or work from other places. How is Fortinet kind of helping out here?
Yeah, so work from anywhere is a big challenge because when you think about it, it's not just remote work. It's not just on-prem work. It's work in both the office and remote, and even traveling. And so that then challenges both networking and security organizations. Is how do we provide the connectivity, the safety, the productivity, no matter where someone is working from, and all of that creates kind of this, real challenge of how do you coordinate the various technologies that are necessary to keep endpoints safe, to keep networks and environments productive. So it's a real challenge.
So Fortinet has something called zero ZTNA, zero trust network access. I think about zero trust in such a marketing term. How do you differentiate that?
Yeah, zero trust is certainly one of the technologies that'll be needed in a work from anywhere environment. Zero trust has been around a long time as a concept, and the idea is it really focuses on the users and devices, and then the assets that they want to access. ZTNA is really taking that and focusing on the user and an application access. Fortinet has a ZTNA solution that is based on our firewalls, and that enables no matter where a user is, they're able to access an application no matter where that application is, and do so in a very safe manner where there's that zero trust of ongoing verification and very granular access to an individual application for an individual session.
So you're basically doing that trust, whether you're on premises, at home, or wherever you are.
Yeah, that's the important thing about the whole the work from anywhere scenario is the fact that the ability to support that in all those locations really becomes critical, and that's where having a ZTNA solution that's effective in all those scenarios really differentiates ours from other cloud-only based solutions. Whereas when if it's cloud-based, if you're on premise, you're having to ping out to a cloud before you get access to even an internal application. With Fortinet solution, because it's integrated into the firewall, and actually it's integrated into our firewall operating system. This really enables ZTNA to be applied to applications that are hosted on premise. They could be hosted in a public cloud, and using our access proxy, the ZTNA access proxy, in a VM of a 48 that might be running in, say, AWS, Azure. It could be running in a private cloud, in a virtualized environment. And we can even use it to enforce access to SaaS applications. So if someone's using Microsoft 365, Salesforce.com, we can provide that enforcement of ZTNA principles no matter where the application is. And we can deliver that ZTNA no matter where the user is. So when the user's in the office, they would utilize the headquarters firewall. If they're remote, they might dial in, or sorry, not dial in, but they might connect to a FortiGate located in a branch. Maybe the closest FortiGate is in a cloud, and they connect to a cloud base. Maybe they'd connect to Fortinet SASE service that also enables ZTNA. So no matter where the user is, no matter where the application is, uh, our ZTNA can get you there.
You're showing your age with the dial-up stuff. But yeah, I remember it years ago. So let's talk about from an architectural standpoint. So okay, fresh environment. I'm building a new environment. If I want to deploy ZTNA, what do I have to put in to get that working?
Yeah, that's a good question because a lot of people, when they think Fortinet, like, oh, Fortinet's talking about ZTNA, that means I got to buy a firewall. Well, yes, we're known for our firewalls. We're number one in that area. 30% of all firewalls shipped come from 48. Sorry, come from Fortinet on our 48 solution. And we've done very well. We're a $4 billion company, 10,000 employees, but that's not all that we do. We actually have a whole collection of products that together provide a platform for cybersecurity. And importantly, Fortinet's solution for cybersecurity is not just have a firewall, but have that platform of products that are all working together to enable that cybersecurity. So, taking point, our work from anywhere solution that we're talking about today, that's going to incorporate capabilities from our firewall with our ZTNA. It's going to also include the importance of protecting the endpoint. So we're dealing with EDR technology. And we even have some new technologies out to protect the home network, where we're actually utilizing that firewall technology that we have and are able to deploy it into a friendly manner into an employee's home while still maintaining employee privacy concerns.
When you're at the employee's home and maybe their kids are playing on their games, or they have IoT devices, the front doorbell or the garage doors on the network as well. Do they have to worry about that?
Well, actually, technically the corporation's never going to show up on the employee's doorstep. The solution we have, we've partnered with Linksys. So it's a home router that has all the simplicity that anyone who's ever set up a home wireless router can set this up. But a part of that network that's going to exist in that home is going to be managed by corporate IT and is going to be protected. In fact, the whole network can be protected by Fortinet's security capabilities. So there's actually a container FortiOS running in that device, and it's able to provide all the protections that a FortiGate would have with respect to the traffic and the antivirus, and all that's being backed by our security labs, the FortiGuard labs. So we can extend security out to those networks. IT gets control of the corporate side of the networks. They can control what SSIDs and wireless networks are published, but the employee owns their network. The corporate IT does not have visibility to it. The employee owns it, manages it, controls whether the doorbell's on it or not. But it's all done in a very easy to use fashion, so the employee can set it up on their own.
Yeah, that easy to use is important, because if it's not simple for the end user, they're not
Mm-hmm.
going to want to use it. So you're already thinking that about the deployment to the end user and making sure that they're able to use it, and
Yeah,
not want to bypass it because it's not working or something like that.
well, yeah, the idea is that, when a organization recognizes they're going to have an employee that's going to be working remotely, they want to make sure that that location is safe and productive. So by having a dedicated corporate network, we're able to prioritize traffic and ensure that Zoom calls and Teams calls get prioritization, so that if someone else in the house happens to be streaming a video or playing an online game, it's not going to disrupt that employee. They're still going to get that capability. But also, this is something that it gets mailed to the employee. They set it up themselves. If they have a problem, they're not calling the corporation IT department for help desk support. They're going to call Linksys, the same way any Linksys customer would if they have an issue with their hardware or their network. So it really offloads the IT organization from having to provide home network support while still enabling them to extend enterprise class security out to a remote working environment.
Yeah. So going back to that architecture environment,
Mhm.
we kind of talked at the greenfield, but usually that's not the case. So there are other competitors out there that have their own firewalls, but you mentioned, I heard of all things, there's a virtual machine version and other versions. Do I have to rip and replace anything if I want to put this in?
When you take a look at the work from anywhere solution, there's a variety of products that are involved there. And as someone is already has an existing firewall solution, they might want to start with our work from anywhere with, say, the endpoint protection. We have very powerful EDR capabilities, and that might be where the initial engagement is. Or it might be on this home networking front with the Linksys product. It's called Linksys Homework for Business. That's secured by Fortinet technology, and then that might be the place to start engaging with Fortinet around how do you support these technologies. And over time, as it looks like the firewalls need to get refreshed, someone should take a look at when they are refreshing that firewall, would it make sense to go to a FortiGate where they can pick up a lot more of these capabilities and they can really fit into an entire platform and ecosystem of cybersecurity?
Yeah, great. So, I mean, when I think about the whole COVID thing, and I think about my day job at the company, not everything is at the corporate office. So we're using
Hmm.
cloud services for like email, for instance, might be in the cloud, and there might be
Hmm.
other cloud services. How do the other cloud services fit in? I'm not hairpinning back to the network to get to those, am I?
No, you don't. You can go straight to out to the cloud. Um, with the ZTNA solutions, you can either you're accessing through our. You can connect back to a branch location and split tunnel to the cloud, or you can go through our SASE instance, and then you would have all the SASE protections before you go out to the cloud. But you wouldn't have to hairpin from a ZTNA solution to go back out to a cloud necessarily.
Okay, so now you talked about the EDR solutions, which EDR is a very important thing to me because when a hacker gets to the endpoint, it's game over. Whatever's on the endpoint, they can get to. So
Mhm.
you have your EDR product. Is that a must to switch over to your EDR?
Well, I say in general, I would say EDR is getting to be a must, given all the
Well, the,
ransomware that's going on. And I agree with you that the endpoint, the laptop, that's where work gets done. It has access to all kinds of information that the corporate needs to secure. So, making sure that that is protected has to be high on everyone's priority list. And EDR, I think, is the only way that you're going to be able to deal with some of these advanced threats that are out there. Do you have to have our EDR in order to start with Fortinet? No, you don't. We're very multi-vendor friendly. We recognize that companies have a variety of vendors that they use for cybersecurity, and I think they'll, as your listeners find, you'll find Fortinet very multi-vendor friendly. I talked about our platform for cybersecurity. We call that the Fortinet Security Fabric. And we have more than 400 other vendors that participate in that fabric through APIs, through direct engineering interconnects, so that all these products can share information and even take automated action. And so the idea that you know you have to be 100% Fortinet to benefit from working with Fortinet solutions is absolutely not the case. We have integrations with a variety of other EDR solutions, but of course, we do have our solution, and we think ours does have significant advantages compared to others on the market.
and I assume using yours, the integration's better with this whole solution.
Yeah, it makes natural sense, because our engineers are, able to talk to each other across the aisleway. We are going to have better integrations with Fortinet only products, but we don't require Fortinet solutions to be there. We do have connections out to other vendors as well. But you're always going to see better visibility and reporting and even capabilities when dealing with strictly Fortinet products.
And I believe Fortinet purchased a company years ago to get the EDR solution. You've already taken that over, and it works as an integrated solution now, or is it not?
Yeah, Fortinet, our solution when it comes to acquiring companies is we typically go after a particular technology and then we integrate it into our security fabric. In this case, the company in question was in Silo, and it's been 4 years now since we've purchased them, and we've been spending a lot of engineering cycles around making sure we have those tight integrations across the security fabric. So integrations into our firewall, integrations into our NAC product. So yeah, we've certainly been working hard to boost that integration so that all our acquired products becomes just naturally a part of our security fabric.
So it sounds like easy for the end user, but what about admins? Is it hard for the admins to get it up and running and then to administrate it as it's going forward?
Oh no, actually, that's a huge benefit of our solution because unlike other companies that have a variety of solutions, many of those because they purchased them and acquired them and bolted them together, you end up with if you purchase four different technologies, you'll have five different consoles to manage it. Fortinet's really taken a highly integrated approach. So as I said, we purchase specific technologies and then integrate them in. So you still get that single pane of glass. We have partners that, specifically when they go to service a customer, they'll roll out only Fortinet Security Fabric product solutions because it makes it so much easier for them to administer and manage and maintain security for their customer base. So it's actually a lot easier for the administrator when dealing with Fortinet security products.
Great. So it sounds like you could roll out a piece at a time and eventually get to the whole thing if that works out for you. Um, that really sounds good. Is there anything else missing? Anything else you want to add on?
I think that's a good way to summarize it. We have lots of customers that start with one product, and then when they see what they can do with the security fabric, they add on and add on. Right now, ZTNA is a hot topic, and our solution there has unique capabilities in the marketplace. So we're having lots of conversations about how customers can move to a ZTNA approach, and the one that can span no matter where the users are. So we're very excited about what's happening. We think work from anywhere is certainly a challenge for organizations, but it's a great opportunity for them to evaluate their current solutions and what solutions they're going to need in the near future.
Peter, thank you so much for having this conversation. If the listeners want to find out more, Fortinet.com, is that the best place to go?
Absolutely.
Great. And of course, listeners, if you have any other thoughts, Gestalt IT has lots of blogs on this and other topics. Thank you for this conversation on work from home. I'm Evan Mincer for Gestalt IT. Have a great day.